If you're LDS, I don't know if you're going to enjoy this video because I'm talking about the things that let me out of the church. And today in particular, I'm still comparing my ex's narcissistic behavior to the church because I think that both of them exhibit similar behaviors. The second trait that I learned about was manipulative behavior. And with my ex, for example, there are a few different things that I think she would do that was pretty manipulative. So, for example, she definitely tried to isolate me from the rest of my family, my friends, and so forth. She definitely made it really difficult for me and my siblings to have a good relationship, and same with me and my parents. In fact, my mom has often told me about how she forced that relationship because she really felt like my ex was trying to keep me from her. On top of that, she would gaslight me. And so, for example, there were times when my ex would say some really hurtful things about, say, things that happened in the bedroom. And then when I would bring it up, but you said this thing, she would then say, that never happened. Or that, why are you bringing up the past? That was so long ago. And it was like last week or something, right? Okay, so how does the church relate to all of this? So, well, the church teaches that you should pay tithing and be generous in your offerings and so forth, right? So they're trying to control your finances. They're also asking you to donate a lot of your time. So they're definitely controlling how much time you have with family and so forth because you have a calling and you have all these other responsibilities, right? Like cleaning this church building. They're also trying to dictate what you wear. For example, there is such a thing as modesty shoulders, or the other word that I won't say here because I don't want to get banned. And you have to wear garments, right? On top of that, the church culture is such that oftentimes when people leave the church or when you are not a member of the church, then members tend to shun you out. So it's creating this very similar thing where they're trying to isolate you from everybody else that doesn't fit into that mold. And let's talk a little bit about gaslighting. Mormon was a thing that everybody used to use, and then at some point it was a victory for Satan, and now all of a sudden it's not really that bad. And so when I've mentioned it before, I will get comments saying that was so long ago or that never happened. And the other thing that I often see is that when we do make these comments about, hey, like that was never taught to me or whatever, some people will say you're wrong, and some other people will say that was so long ago. Why are you bringing up the past? Are you seeing the similarity here? It's pretty weird. Anyways, those are just my thoughts, and just like before, I'm going to remind you that I am not a mental health professional. I work with window film, which has nothing to do with the brain, right? So I'm just sharing my opinion on the things that I observed with my ex, the things that I learned about it, and how it relates to the church, at least according to Leo. Anyways, next video will drop tomorrow, so follow for more. Yeah. Bye, guys.